I think it will be difficult for the European political community to make much progress on topics like Ukraine, the economy, and the energy crisis. The reason I say that is that it's a very large organisation. It's going to have a lot of countries represented. The more countries that are involved in any issue, the harder it is to get any kind of consensus on that issue. So I think it would be difficult to make progress on any issue, to get a tangible agreement on any issue. But all of these issues are complex. The situation in Ukraine, the economy, the energy crisis, they're not only complex, they're also interlinked. They interact with each other. Each of these has a knock-on effect on the other two. So this is a particularly complex issue. And when you're talking about an organisation which is new, which still has to find its feet, and has got over 40 countries involved, this is going to be incredibly difficult to make tangible, concrete progress. I believe that it can certainly help to provide stability. It is important that countries have dialogue with each other. This is something that matters across the world. But what practical impact it can have, it can certainly have a small impact, but can it have a big impact? I think that remains to be seen. It's very easy to have this plan that Macron wants to introduce this new system, but we don't know whether in practice it will go in the same way as many other supranational institutions have in the past. Will it actually end up achieving the things that Macron says he wants it to achieve, or will it end up with the same structural problems that other organisations have ended up with in the past? And that is what remains to be seen. In theory, it should be positive. But in practice, we may see something very different. You're going to have to look at the European Union at the moment to see how there are structural differences on key issues within the European Union already. Countries have significantly different opinions on how they would tackle Ukraine, the economic crisis, the energy crisis, and also different European countries have different challenges, particularly when it comes to the flow of energy, because different countries have got their energy basket set up differently. So when you already have that tension within the EU 27, when you have a forum discussing those same issues, which is much broader, of course you're going to have an even bigger difference of opinion. So I think in theory it should be good for relations between European countries, but in practice I'm not so sure whether that will end up being the case or not, and doubtless time will tell. I don't think this can be achieved now. The reason I say that is that the idea that an organisation with as many different views as this one can somehow give the European Union, which is a smaller organisation in terms of numbers, dominance, doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't see how this organisation can neutralise NATO, because it's not something which will be a decision-making body. So I think it's difficult to imagine, certainly within the next few years, that this organisation would become a significant global power bloc. But what we see with a lot of institutions is they start off small and then they grow. and the question is what they grow into later. So certainly in the next decade, I would say there is no chance that this organisation can achieve those aims, that it can make the European Union dominant or neutralise NATO or contain the United States. I don't see a new organisation like this with so many opinions around the table as being able to do that now.